It is my heart desire to see everyone has opportunity to be part of God's story. I am a church planter and a business owner here in Nepal, one of a small percentage of Christians here in the country. Before my birth, my mom was seriously ill, but someone from the village heard the gospel, returned home, and told my parents about Jesus, that there was hope for my mom. He didn't know much about Jesus, except the name Jesus, and Jesus, a healer and a God who loves people. So he prayed for my mother and she was healed. And she became healthy. God blessed her with a child, and I am the one God gave as a gift to my parents. When I was about 2 or 3 years old, some of the Buddhist priests and religious leaders in the village, they were not happy about Christians. And one day they invited all the head of the Christian families in a special place, and they were all beaten. My dad was beaten badly.
They threw dirt and sewage at me. They first slapped our cheeks and kicked us. My feet and hands were tied up tightly. My blood circulation was disturbed. The pain was unbearable.
There was not much work that my parents could do. He was uneducated. He also didn't have Bibles. So the only thing he knew was name Jesus. I was one of the first children who was privileged to go to school. So every Saturday after worship, I went to jungle, found some wood, and I sold it to a brick factory once a week. And finally, I was able to buy a Bible. One night, when I read from the book of Ezekiel, where Ezekiel was called, God told Ezekiel, "Son of man, go now to the house of Israel and speak my word." So when I read these lines, I felt like God's calling in my life. God wants me to speak His word among my tribe and among the people who can understand my language. I was invited for a Bible school in India, and I went to India for 3 years, and I learned some English. It was in 1991. I finished Bible school, came home, and I began to give leadership. When I shared about starting a training program for our young people, all the leaders were excited. They said, "Yes, this is what we want to see." Our people are poor. They cannot provide enough food and enough money for the training. At the end of 1999, one lady came and gave me 2 small packets of salt and said, "For now, this is all I can give." And I showed these 2 small packets of salt to the whole congregation. And from that day onward, all the members, they saw how they could help the training. We had an outreach team from USA, and I got the privilege to share about my vision to start a discipleship training program in the village. And the team leader was a young man from the States, and he promised to share my vision for a discipleship training program, and he helped me connect with Galen Burkholder. That is how I came to know about Global Disciples. So our church network started the first locally sustainable and accountable to the local group of leaders and reproducible model of discipleship training program in Nepal. And one of the neighboring churches also started similar program after listening to the way we did our program. And then 3 other church networks also started because somehow they heard the way we were doing the training. Today we have 43 programs all over Nepal. I didn't have big dreams, but by God's grace, I feel God is on every step of my life. I have a life verse which is from the Gospel of John 3:30. When Jesus came to John the Baptist said that Jesus must increase, but I must decrease. Everything I do, as long as Jesus is known, as long as people are trained and go and make Jesus known, I don't need to be known.